different. Uh, everything has a sound effects in the campfire chants. Okay. Uh, this week Jackal won't be joining. He's touching grass, so he will be back on the next week's AMA. Like here, you don't even need to request to speak. I think you can just turn on your mic and join the discussion anytime. Yes, Jackal is touching grass for this week only. So you will have to stick with me and Cherry. And we actually ended up forcing him to go and touch grass for at least 1 week because he's been like 24/7, and we almost ended up banning him for 1 week so he stops playing Zevers for at least a moment. So what do we have today is few topics. One of the things most of you already saw was we did a small update on the game, and now it has a timer. And we also dropped first teaser for what's coming up. We won't be going like much in detail around planets aligning, but this is something we've been preparing for a while, and I can promise it will be pretty exciting update for even seasoned players. So biggest thing we've ever released, and his planets aligning beta, maybe, but I guess we can skip this part. Let's keep the mystery going on, and there will be a few more teasers which will be dropping. Best thing you can do is just play the game, prepare, and maybe wait a bit. So, besides planets aligning, we are starting to do behind the scenes. So we posted today how it actually looks inside the office, and what's kind of the actual process behind like designing characters. And the idea is to involve community maybe a bit more into behind the scenes and show you the process. Maybe invite you to learn more a bit about the team behind the process, behind like the art, behind the coding. And I'm just like looking at a video right now. I guess it has enough of teasers to give you idea for new content coming up, but let's let us know if you want to see more, and if this should become like a weekly tradition where we post some of stuff happening behind the scenes. So yeah, seems people like it. That's nice. So one of the topics today, which I personally have been working for a while, is new ambassador program. And what we want to do with that is, I want to see Jackal touching grass. I mean, we can ask for a picture. I don't know. You're feel free to send him DM, but won't be me writing him. So yeah, one of the things we really want to bring back is ambassador program. And previously, when we launched ambassador program, it was a bit more innovative concept where we wanted to replace referral codes with on-chain tokens, which on paper seemed a pretty nice idea, but pretty quickly we realized that not that fair. People were screening the chain, and they were like auto sending their own tokens, which resulted into some of our ambassadors being scammed. Let's put it that way. And as nice the system was, it just didn't really protected people who invested time and brought like a new people to Zevers. So we want to change that, and we've been working on new ambassador program, which will kick off together with a beta. I'll dig on that deeper in a moment. Uh, Another thing I wanted to remind, as always, we are doing mask raffle. So Cherry will be making a snapshot at some point, and she will be posting a winner. However, one thing, Jackal is responsible for sending the masks, so we will announce winner today, but the mask itself will be sent sometime early next week, probably Monday. So please keep that in mind, and I think it's not that of a big deal. So winner can wait a bit. So speaking about ambassador program, uh, we took some lessons from the last one, and we really like the fact how ambassadors not only invited the players, but we saw them hopping in and walking through these new players, through the mechanics and all the like stuff we have, and seeing how that can translate into revenue for the creators and ambassadors. I think it really well aligns with the incentives, and the general idea is we want to make our community succeed, and if we end up generating revenue, then we should have a mechanic in place how we can share a portion of that success. So with new ambassador program coming up, we want to focus more on the journey, which would be something uh, applicable to regular players who may not have like thousands of followers on their social channels. But then at the same time, we want to make sure people who want to approach this seriously have tools in place to convert their own traffic into like real income, right? And this new system will be built more as a journey where every regular player will have an incentive to uh, invite maybe just one friend and receive some in-game bonuses just by doing that. But as they progress through this program, more things will start to unlock. And let's say you start by just inviting one friend, which give you some in-game resources. That's sometimes the main incentive for people to kind of just find one friend to play with and get some bonus inside a game. But as we progress further, we want to expose people who help us grow to revenue share, and and okay, I want to be ambassador. Yeah, and as we progress people through this ambassador program, we want to ensure you have everything you need to be able to represent Zevers as well. So it starts with just inviting one friend, and then it evolves into really like specially catered groups where you can work with other ambassadors, where you have direct access to your dashboards, where you can have access to like weekly calls where you get more alignment on our growth strategies. And we really, really want to allow that, enable that, and when we when we want to bring out Zevers to the world, we want to rely and reward our creators as well. So yeah, and the new ambassador system, it won't be uh, built around these on-chain tokens. So we will go the easy way where you will have your own personal referral code, and you will be able to share the referral code with as many people as you want. And yeah, and in the process, you will be entitled to lifetime revenue share and some other bonuses on top of that. And a few things we have on mind is some special equipment, which can only be obtained by inviting like 2 or 3 friends. But obviously, for more serious creators, they want to make income out of this, and we will have a really extensive program where you can earn revenue from whatever people end up spending. You will be exposed to the revenue share around the fees from game exchange. We are right now also putting together a system which will reward you when some of your invited friends end up staking B token. And yeah, we are kind of finalizing the details, so I'll be able to share more quite soon. Meanwhile, we're super open to any suggestions. I know some of you had a chance to participate in previous ambassador program, and maybe there is something you liked about that. Maybe there's something you really wished we would have done. And yeah, I would be happy to get as much feedback as possible while we are uh, I actually like developing the whole thing. So yeah, my DMs are open. Feel free to post in Discord channel, any Discord channel, or just right up here inside the chat. So, Cherry, is there something you want to say or add? Yes, no. Okay, Cherry has nothing to add, I guess. So, guys, do you have any questions around these topics, or shall we proceed? Pretty clear. So cool. So yeah, we'll be presenting this maybe in the next community call. More details, and this will roll out together with open beta. So relatively soon, and cool. So on a few other things. Honestly, it's a bit weird when Jackal is not here because we always did like this back and forth, and he really enjoyed hopping on certain game mechanic related things. He's way better player than me, so I wouldn't have that strong opinion on certain game mechanics. But few things I can share around game mechanics is currently we've been also working on developing. We like to call it like on map battles. So we will have this large, vast world which is full of different cool stuff. And in order for the world to feel alive, we want we want to make it habitable by Z's themselves. So think of like walking around in a forest and seeing there is some Z's like a Pokemon's like chilling around. Some of them may be aggressive, some of them may be friendly, but the main thing is you will be able to go and battle them directly on the map. It won't consume any energy, but the moment you start these battles, and these battles will be 1-to-1, so you will have to choose your like follower Z, and no, you can't catch them. Uh, and and uh, and the moment you finish the battle, let's say you lost like half of your HP, you will need to heal them with using the food, such as fish. So having a good skill levels will come really, really handy when you will make a far journeys, and I will just kind of need to heal while not like returning to your hometown. Yeah, Cherry just wrote me that her PC is crashing, so she's probably not able to join in. Yeah. So this will be really, really interesting mechanic, and we are working some of the things how you manage the team, and you will have like a special inventory for disease, how much you can bring with you at any given time. Because right now, like disease offer this, I would say, bit confusing user experience where you kind of have them in your backpack, but then at the same time it's you still have to create these themes. And what we want to do is we want to make it more user friendly, so it will follow roughly the same idea what we currently have with inventory and stash. You will have your own Z storage, which you will be able to access anytime. The only condition is you actually have to go there to access it. And from there, you will be able to choose up to 5 Zs, which you can carry around anytime. And these will be usable in a battle directly on the map, and the same team will be joining the team in the dungeons. One thing we have lots of internal discussion around is should dungeons reset all the HP, or we should focus on crafting more immersive dungeon experiences, but then every time you go inside a dungeon and your Z ends up losing some HP, you actually need to heal them. Honestly, I'm a bit in favor for the fact that every time you lose HP, either you heal it or you ride with it, as long as Z is alive. So that's one of like really game mechanic related things which we currently are like finishing. So I saw the question around the mask update. The masks themselves are almost finished. What we are looking for is an opportunity on our roadmap to release them and actually generate some marketing activity besides just updating the graphics. So, in one of past few AMAs, we already shared that, but we'll be looking to release them as soon as we can, and maybe even together with the beta. So we'll definitely follow up with that. So when new players, that's really good question. And new players is something we plan to do. We start to acquire really actively together with a better release. So our strategy will revolve around 3 things. Uh, okay. one second before I go there. When will there be more information on the beta game and lands? Like guys, I'm telling you all I can. There is like obviously a timer inside the game. Planets are aligning. I can't share much about that, but uh, it's soon. So and also I'm sharing a bunch of stuff around these new lands and game mechanics coming together with that. But answering the question, when new players, so um, we have three strategies, like three action plans around the new players, and the first one is focused on like regular normal gamers who know nothing about crypto, and they will be joining the Zevers, not because of crypto components, but because they will want to play Zevers itself. So, in order to acquire those players, we will be launching game on app stores, and we will be. Bro, you're asking that question literally every single AMA, and we have announced it actually a few times down the past. So, uh, I mean, we probably won't re-announce it again without any like new updates around that. So this is related to copyright's question, and like yeah, I mean we are. I think it's like no offense, bro, but I think we are addressing this question literally every week on every weekly call. So yeah, yeah, okay, good question. What percent of beta will represent of like all the content? So in the beta, our general plan is built around having 9 biomes, so 9 regions. That's the same amount of land biomes we have for the player lands, and and we will start a beta which will have half of first biome, which is grassland. So that represents, fuck, I mean, that could be close to 5 to 7%. I mean, and on the same scale, alpha is probably 1% of content wise. Mechanic wise, it's close to 5%, but content wise, it's roughly 1%. And with the beta, there will be way more content, way more space to roam around, and with that being said, uh, I guess it's safe to estimate we are looking at 5 to 7%. So yeah, the beta involves also publishing on App Store and Google Play. One of the things we'll have uh, in place is a way for people without crypto wallets uh, to purchase V token just by using their credit cards. And that involves us promoting the game from test flight to actual like actual app store, and people will be able to download Zevers as they are downloading any other regular app or game. And that will come together with the start of our user acquisition campaigns, where we will be targeting gamer groups in specific markets and essentially bringing in new stream of regular Web2 gamers who will start playing Zevers for sake of playing Zevers without like any like monetary incentives. And I think it will be really, really interesting to see how these players react the moment they realize the coins, the equipment they get inside the game actually is something liquid. And I think this will be a really, really nice surprise for them. And I think we will be able to see good data from that. Uh, Speaking about new player acquisition strategies, our second strategy, or like second action plan, revolves around ambassador program. So we will be really, really empowering creators and ambassadors to bring in new players, and in return, we will have extensive way to reward them. So simply speaking, if you bring a new player and this player ends up either investing or spending inside the Zverse ecosystem, you will forever receive a share of that. Uh, so I think we are pretty good at retaining players, even with this limited content. I know there is so many people who have been around for the last 2 years. And now just imagine when you onboard like a new player, there's way more content, way more fun things to do. It's safe to say lots of these people will stick around for years. And while they stick around, they actually end up generating income for you. And the third strategy, which we will employ, is the launch of Play to Airdrop campaign. And this will be one of the final phases before we can move into the TGE. And Play to Airdrop campaign will be focused around exploring Zver's universe, basically going into adventures and completing quests rather than grinding some artificial numbers. So we really want to make it play to earn experience where people need to play rather than share or do like some social tasks. Like I don't know. I've joined few playtest campaigns myself. Not all of them I felt was what they should have been. I mean, I believe lots of you have also played few other project play to drop campaigns. So welcome to share the feedback. So and also would there be any story mode for Zevers? Players to understand the lore and interact with NPCs. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking about quests. Like the quest, the way we envision quests is not just go and slay 100 cows and bring me the bones. The way we see the quests is uh, you are going into these journeys where you actually go through this story mode, you interact with NPCs, you solve some mysteries, there is some puzzles which you need to solve. And by doing that, you also unlock the world around you. One good example would be um, let's say there is this new region which can be only accessed by this bridge, but this bridge unfortunately is broken. And in order to travel to that region, the reason why you need to travel to that region is probably because you need to save someone throughout the story. And as you progress through the quests, you will end up fixing that bridge. But in order to fix that bridge, you need some materials, which then again you will be trying to get or obtain through some sort of puzzles. And the moment you get the materials, there also will be some level requirements, which means, let's say, in order to fix bridge, you need like level 50 or level 30 crafting. And we see that this approach and design will give you a really, really easy way to, not easy way, but natural way to uh, convert your leveled up skills into something useful for those quests themselves, and then again vice versa. Uh, the skills will get much more utility uh, because they will be required for you to complete variety of different quests. So yeah, basically quests are like a story mode, and we don't see the story mode being something linear. Rather, it will be this kind of many branch system where there are like some side quests which are not related to anything. Uh, One thing we have on mind, and I think once Jackal is back next week, he can uh, start working toward that direction. Is we want to involve community in creating some of these quests and stories. So I think it would be super dope when we have few community created quests, uh, and then everybody gets to experience that, and like the work we've done together with community stays always as a part of like Zever's legacy. So yeah, we'll have to figure out a good way to do this. But for sure, Jackal will be responsible for this. I already spoke with him last week, and he was super excited about idea itself. So I guess that's something what we can expect. Ideally, we want to create it so when you will be completing it, it's also fun for you guys. So we'll find like a really good way to mix this thing. Yeah. So, uh, okay, cool. So it would be interesting to see a short video of how your artists work in Blender. I think we could come up with something like this. Maybe we could do um, let's see. We plan to do these quite often, so it's kind of like behind the scenes stuff, and maybe we can do like this speed modeling. I don't know the best term to describe it, but generally you could see how model started from zero and the way it was finished all speed up. Maybe that would be a fun thing to have. So. Uh, What else do we have here? Seasons. Okay, we have thought about adding day and night cycle. We haven't thought about adding seasons. We kind of have added seasons cosmetically when we were holding some Christmas events. So you saw snow and you saw like some new elements appearing, which could be considered as being season. But the thing about having seasons, the same thing as is about having this day and night cycle, is actually about having some utility behind this. And like I really love idea about having day and night cycle, but currently I just don't see any real use for that. Uh, Maybe we could end up including these mechanics in some specific regions, but as the game grows, I think having these global seasons or having day and night cycles would end up being something really complex thing without having much of utility and value. So whenever we think of cool ideas, we always try to figure out, okay, these are the benefits, these are the downsides, and obviously, if the benefits are larger, bigger, then we will go that route. But when we see like this tricky balance where it introduces a lot of the problems, maybe sometimes it's better to kind of put this idea in maybe a list and return it later. But yeah, so not sure about seasons. This kind of falls more into having different biomes. Because, like, for instance, we'll have tundra, and tundra by default is winter all year round. So I don't know how well the seasons would apply to these kind of regions. Or then at the same time, we have the desert biome, which is pretty much summer by default all the time. So yeah. Okay, so we haven't developed our own engine. However, we have developed quite a lot of custom stuff and tooling, so we can build game faster. Some of the stuff we have developed down the road is some internal libraries, which helps to optimize things, because it's actually crazy. The Zverse, with the quality it has, works on web browser. That's pretty insane. But the tools we use for most part is Blender and Unity. So the game is built in Unity, and most of the 3D tools we use is uh, yeah, Blender mostly. It's kind of preference by our artists. They prefer to have raw access and really focus on using their skill rather than trying to find the shortcuts. So maybe we will end up making like small interviews sometime, and they could share more, because I'm afraid to talk about these things in much detail because there is a high chance I will say something wrong. So they're the masters. Yeah, I can only um, praise them, but uh, I have no knowledge to go really deep into the details. So yeah, we've been already here for like 40 minutes. Maybe today we'll try to keep it a bit shorter, but I'm still around. Let's try to round up in like 10 or 15 minutes. Meanwhile, guys, drop me a questions, and let's see. Yeah, will there be other languages in the game? Uh for sure. So the usual practice is to finish game to some state and then start to add localizations. In some of our previous games, we've had even up to 15 supported languages. So we plan to do roughly the same for Zevers. Every time you see sometimes these weird errors with the things in the brackets, these are actually the text keys, and we already have everything in place, so we could localize the game relatively easy. And I guess sometimes the player communities then can join in and help to clean up some mistakes and errors, because obviously we don't speak every language. So yeah. uh, is that true that every Friday viewers employees have to go to office dressed like shamans? Maybe. That would be good idea. We have our own internal hoodies and some nice merch. So I would say to some extent that's shaman gear we have in place. So so guys, do we have any more questions? Lol. Uh, will there be new rewards in Discord in the market? I think this question would go to Jackal. But I think even in previous community hall, he mentioned that he will be looking to update the Vauxhall store, and yeah, there is a high chance he will have another look on that. And I think Jackal has been advocating for um, Voxel Store for a while, and pretty much he is pushing that. So uh, yeah, I think it's coming back, and it's coming with more variety of stuff. And I think we'll even end up having some custom stickers and some custom stuff, which can be only obtained through the Discord shop. And then we'll have a utility inside the game. But yeah, let's wait for the next week when Jackal is back and we can see. So yeah, when new emojis. I think we made a deal with Pedrox that the moment Pedrox coin will reach the price of 10V tokens, we will introduce new custom stickers, and the first stickers will be purchasable with Pedrox coin. Um, I think we have not reached that price yet, so that's a homework for Pedrox. So yeah, ask him the question when new emojis, because it's based on that. How many times will the game map be enlarged compared to its current state? I don't want sound vague. I can't like disclose specific info, but many times, like many times. I think the the total map size for full game with all 9 biomes is maybe 3,000 times bigger than the current map. It's kind of like the current map is the size of the village, like a small village. Like the cities inside the Zverse will be many times larger than the current map itself, and that's without considering the fact there is lots of like areas and forests and interesting stuff for people to explore. So yeah, will there be other shaman appearances that can be purchased? If you are referring that as equipment, then you can easily change your shaman appearance by uh, wearing different kinds of equipment and armors. And if you think about like face or body type, we currently don't have this on a near term roadmap, but I know some people really enjoy customizing their characters, and we could have a look on that. So speaking about you need a new computer to play, the fun fact is, besides just expanding the world, we also went crazy lengths of um, optimizing the experience. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, uh, the beta is even easier on your GPU and computer than the current version. So yeah. Any plans to port Zverse to Nintendo Switch and controller support? Uh, I mean, everything is possible. Currently, it's not our number one priority. First, we want to launch it on app stores. For the Steam, Steam is a bit tricky because Steam have crazy policy towards any game which has anything to do with crypto. Um, we might have a second look. I see lots of potential if it could get on the Steam, but yeah, we have to be compliant with those policies. And last I checked, Steam was pretty hardcore on that. And maybe solution is to create like limited version where some of functionality uh is like removed from the game. But then again, I think this should follow the moment we have. public release, and we have established ourselves on our main platforms. But yeah, we should have a Steam at some point. At least I wish we will have. Yeah. So cool, 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 cool. Okay. See some people still writing. Pep Pepedrox mask. I mean, it looks good. Uh, yeah. I know like the Gex experience isn't very streamlined right now. So we will probably be updating that. One of the most important things we want to make sure works and is taken care of is uh, some level of gas sponsorship for GEX transactions, which will be particularly important for Web2 players who will be making their first transactions. And yeah, so the GEX is actually one of the centerpieces of all Zver's economy, and it will receive series of updates down like as we go. And I'm like, happy somebody actually pointed this out because I feel the experience could be way better, and I'm open to like any feedback. Like the guys who have been using GEX daily um, could drop what they think should be fixed or improved, so we can then focus the resources on getting rid of the problems which people find most frustrating. But yeah, I mean, our message and yeah, the message in general is we are preparing game to be way more user friendly, so we can start onboarding the masses, and really start to scale up the user base, which then I think is rewarding the existing community and core contributors to the project. So this strategy would naturally benefit and align with existing community, and then again in return, we will also introduce ambassador program, which will give tools and incentives for existing community members and new members joining Zevers to help us grow and share our success with the community itself. I mean, that's the way we see this, and uh, P&L on the Gex. That would be cool. Best traders of the month reward goes to, and I mean that could be a cool feature for sure. So yeah, uh, okay, okay. So I guess we can start to round up. Um, Maybe some last few questions or ideas. And yeah, I would like to end up the note that everything we do is to make it user friendly, introduce new content which can be enjoyed, which makes game more enjoyable, and bring in new gamers, players who want to play Zevers for being a great game, and then maybe discovering the fact that they can end up earning something by playing the game. And I think this is the best and most beneficial way to reward community. And then at the same time, we will introduce tools for community to help us grow, and in result we will be using those tools to share the success and revenue with people who help us. So yeah, Uh, cool, guys. Thank you all for showing up. As always, my pleasure to join these calls. And like by now, it's already weekly tradition. Next week, you can expect Jackal to be back on, so he will add a nice mix to this one. I hope Cherry made a screenshot so she can do a mask raffle. Uh, mask, you did it, nice. And she will announce winner today. But Jackal will be responsible for sending out actual masks, so the winner will have to wait a bit until Monday, probably. So, yeah, last thing, be sure you check the Twitter. There will be one more post this week. Um, and I think the main topic is planets are aligning and some surprises are coming. So thank you guys. Always pleasure, and see you around.